Today on the vlog, Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. Hello and welcome back to the vlog. I am again your host Tyler, and I want to talk about another subject that's very important to my geekiness and my geekhood. So we're going to get into that in just a second, but I just want to quickly point out, if you haven't noticed yet, but I have a new setup right behind me. Let me know what you think of it. Does anything stick out to you? Just let me know, and if this is okay compared to the other backgrounds I've had thus far. So I want to talk today about Star Wars. Now, for many people, Star Wars is huge. It's bigger than Marvel versus DC. It's bigger than some religions, actually. Star Wars itself is becoming so much bigger than just movies, so much bigger than just the lore of it, so much so that Disney bought it for billions of dollars, and resurrected it and are putting out a movie each year. Why? Because they make money. As people look back upon the prequels, regardless of what you felt about those, they still made and generated a lot of money, which made it very valuable. So let's talk about Star Wars. And I want to talk about my take with Star Wars and a little bit about my story with Star Wars. So first, I think we need to establish how I've always viewed Star Wars, especially the original trilogy. And whether I'm right or wrong, this is just my interaction with them. This is my story with them. By the time I came into this world, all three original movies came out. We had Star Wars, as I always noted, as A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Now, for me, I always would watch this as one continual story. So I would start at A New Hope, and then I would drudge through Empire Strikes Back, and then I would get to the end and the dramatic, woohoo, we win moment. And I gotta say that I still don't understand the hype and the gravitas, I guess you could say, with Empire Strikes Back. It might just be because I'm young and brass, I don't know. But yes, it's huge that Darth Vader is revealed that Luke is his son, and there's so many things that happen in the second story, but the way I've always viewed it, the way I've always watched these movies is one continual story. It's the middle of the story, so it's not as exciting as the beginning and being introduced and kind of learning about what the Force is, and then it's not the lightsaber battle in it isn't as exciting as the lightsaber battle in Return of the Jedi, and so you get to the battle and you have all the intensity and all the weight upon it. It's all happening all at once, and it's just so exciting, and you're just like, yes, I want more. Thus, we get into a problem. So, now that I'm an adult, I can look back at the prequels that came out when I was a child, and I can say that these are not the best movies ever. They are not the most well crafted. They're not as amazing maybe as I thought they used to be, but at the end of the day, I still have a much better spot for them in my heart than what I do for the originals. My favorite Star Wars movie is actually The Phantom Menace. Now, yes, it's flawed. Yes, it has many things in it that people don't like about it. I understand that Jar Jar is not an easy character to take in. There are things that happen in this movie that people can easily say, well, that's not Star Wars. My favorite Star Wars movie is actually The Phantom Menace. So we'll get into a movie review eventually, because Star Wars movies are going to be coming out on a yearly basis. So there's episode 8 to look forward to, and I'm sure I'm going to spend some time reviewing each and every movie one at a time. But the biggest reason why I enjoy it so much is just probably because the lightsaber battle and just the Duel of the Fates, that song is just so powerful, and I think as a kid, I just got swept into that. And so whether or not the rest of the movie is as enjoyable for me now as an adult, I still can't help but get those feelings in me of this is Star Wars, and get so excited about the pod racing because I had the pod racing game. There's so much about my childhood that's wrapped up into this one movie, and also I went and saw this in the theaters. I didn't see any other Star Wars movie in theaters until Episode 7 came out, and so it was really exciting to me to see everything on the big screen as I did. So now let's get into the new Star Wars movies that have come out. You have The Force Awakens, which is continuing the overall Star Wars story, and now we have Rogue One. I don't want to get into too much of the movie reviews themselves, but I think how I feel about them is similar to how people felt about the prequels when they came out. I know what I actually like now in a Star Wars movie. I know the things I want to see, and I just didn't see them. Yeah, there were cool scenes. Yes, there were great characters. Yes, there were very funny moments. I can point to a lot of things I liked, but I can point to more things I didn't like, or things that I felt wasn't done as well as what I thought it could have been. So now I'm starting to turn into this person who says, I have my Star Wars story, I have the whole story that I like, and anything else now is just extra, which is all right. One of the things I didn't like about Rogue One, I will say, is that there really wasn't a actual lightsaber fight. I know Vader struck up his saber and mowed a couple of guys down, which is grand, but ultimately it felt like it was kind of shoehorned in, and it didn't. There wasn't an actual battle between lightsabers, and regardless what you think about the prequels, what I really liked about Phantom Menace is, without really any words, as soon as Darth Maul arrived, the Jedi realized this is a problem. This guy is going to give us trouble. We have to take care of them. And they only really, at this point, brought their lightsabers out in defense. And so now they're going to be on the attack, which is really cool, I think. There's no words spoken between the two, so it's not as much like the meeting between Obi-Wan and Vader in A New Hope, where, they are having a conversation, basically. I mean, Darth Vader walked up with the lightsaber drawn, so you could already say that the lightsaber battle already began, but I like how it began so much more in A Phantom Menace, with no dialogue needed. They just knew by the Force that, yes, this is a problem. We have to deal with this now. And so what I'm going to say is this. I love Star Wars. I'm going to keep seeing them. I'm going to keep going to the movie theater to watch them. And regardless of whether or not I really like one or don't really like one, I'm still going to go see it. I'm still going to be excited about it. I will say that Rogue One is by far the one that I've been least excited about as far as Star Wars movies that come out, but I still enjoyed it. I still had a good experience with it. I just walked away saying, I liked it, but I like this one better. And that's okay, I think. I don't think that every single one that comes out has to be better than the one before it. So yeah, that's where I kind of stand when it comes to Star Wars. There's so many things that we could go deeper into with Star Wars. So yeah, that's a little bit about my story, and I'm excited to see what else comes out for Star Wars. So look for reviews in the future, because what else am I going to be doing in December? So peace be with you. Until next time.